Well, Finland's an interesting question, but France and Germany actually do look pretty closely aligned on where things are right now, or at least on the essential points. There hasn't been any overt interference in what the European Union's been negotiating in for now. Of course, when we get an outline of what, if there is an agreement, of course, by the 1st of August, there may be cause for disagreement in it. But one of the key things they do agree on is the potential for retaliation. And that's the latest news
Right.
that we've been reporting here out of our colleagues in Brussels, is that the EU is now preparing for the scenario that there isn't a deal by the 1st of August. They say they're going to
Right.
use the list of around 100 billion euros worth of US goods they've already identified and apply a 30% tariff to them if there
Right.
isn't a deal. Of course, they say they want to talk. They want there to be negotiations. They want a negotiated deal. No sign
Right.
of that for now.
And Stephen, in Japan, it's a pretty clear idea. There's automobiles, and there's the back and forth on rice from the Sacramento Valley going over to Japan. Give us an item that Americans would be concerned about. Paul, am I right here? With a big European tariff. Give us
Wine?
an example of an item where we're all going to go, OMG, that's harsh.
Well, I mean, look, you can pick your pharmaceutical of choice. I mean,
Okay.
if you think about where I'm from in Ireland, the majority of the world's artificial knees and hips are made on the island of Ireland. So that's something that could be a big issue if there were tariffs suddenly applied to those coming to the US. Now, we're told that certain medical devices, so we may think of that being under that umbrella, may be exempt from any tariffs that are applied. But there are those key subjects. That's before you get to the good stuff, the wine and the cheese and the things you might want to be importing from Europe as well. But I mean, pharmaceuticals is the biggest single item, I suppose, if you're to pick it as an
Okay.
industry. Is obviously up there as well, but it is in the medical area that certainly people are, anxious not only about what the overall picture might look like in a deal with the EU, but then if there are extra tariffs applied to that sector in particular, what that could do. Now, pharmaceutical companies say they produce plenty of medicines in the US as well and would be able to adapt their supply chains. We've seen big announcements from the likes of AstraZeneca about how much they're going to spend on investing more and making more in the US as well. So perhaps some adapting around there. But yeah, I would say pick an artificial knee.
All right. I mean, it's pharmaceuticals here. It's wine for me. France and Italy. That's what I'm paying attention to. Stephen, what's the timing here? Do we have any talks scheduled over the next coming days?
Omar Shevchevich, the EU trade negotiator, is going to be speaking to Howard Lutnick later this afternoon, we're told. So that's going to be in the next couple of hours. That's before he's due to brief the ambassadors of all the European countries about the progress, if any, on those talks as well. So we could be hearing something within hours, but of course we've got just over a week to go until the 1st of August. The news or the sense that things are moving has come in waves over the past week or so. So we did have a point last week where it did look like there was progress being made. Things were going in a positive direction. The
Right.
weekend, then things sort of fell apart. So perhaps we're back on track this week. Perhaps we're back on course for something to
Right.
actually be agreed.
One final question, Stephen. You've been driving all of our great coverage out of London. You've just migrated to Brussels. It's tough duty, Paul.
I know.
I mean, somebody's got to do the Brussels beat. What's your first impression in Brussels now that you've moved there full time doing Bloomberg Daybreak?
I mean, look, it's the international aspect of this city. I mean, you walk outside the door and how many languages do you hear spoken? How many more languages do I feel I need to learn now that I live here? But this is, I mean, it is the hub of Europe. It's where you get to step outside and have fantastic Italian food, Greek food, and meet people from all over this continent as well. All with, their own point of view as well about how the continent should be run. So that makes interesting conversations as well.